Looking for a checking account with no monthly requirements or service charge? People's State Bank's People's Checking Account is just what you're looking for. This account includes free debit card, online and mobile banking, bill pay, and much more at no cost to you. You heard that right. No cost to you. We're your local community bank ready to serve you. People's State Bank. Member FDIC.
24/7, 365. Myers Heating and Cooling is your trusted residential heating and cooling system service provider. Join Myers Comfort Club for peace of mind throughout the year and around the clock. Myers Heating and Cooling in Lancaster. Don't worry, we got this.
Check out Supps.com. Supps is Southwest Wisconsin's go-to supplement store. Find all your favorite supplement brands at the best prices from local people. Fuel your fitness journey. Supps.com, your go-to supplement store with locations in Fenimore and Dubuque.
Grow your business by enhancing your digital marketing efforts with Queen Bee Radio and Phase 3 Digital. We provide customized solutions based on your business's unique needs, including targeted advertising, website development, and search engine optimization. Contact us at 608-349-2000 or visit p3da.com/Platteville to learn more.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports. Presented by Myers Heating and Cooling and Wolf Construction. And sponsored by Claire Bank, Cuba City Family Dental, Culver's of Dubuque, Galena, and Platteville, Edward Jones Representative Ben Reeves and Elena Reeves, Fuller's Milker Center, Nutrition World, the Peterson Agency, Raleigh Cheese, the Shoebox, and Tricor Insurance.
From Cuba City High School on what is now becoming a rather overcast afternoon, we welcome you to high school baseball action from the SWAL Conference. Today, it's the Cuba City Cubans playing host to the Mineral Point Pointers. Hi there. I'm Mark Evenstad, and with me on the broadcast today, Tyler Dictanis, as we bring you a broadcast of high school baseball action on the Queen Bee Radio YouTube channel. And our sponsors today include Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank. Coverage of high school sports presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, Myers Heating and Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction. Welcome to our Raleigh Cheese pregame show. It's presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Other sponsors include Russell Law Offices. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. Colors of our game brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Keeler Family Dental, and now open Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. The Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Coaches are getting together with our umpires at home plate. Our umpires are Charlie Chamberlain. He's working home plate, and working the bases is Ken Brook. Mineral Point comes into today's game with a record of 8-4 overall, 6-1 in SWAL Conference play. Meanwhile, Cuba City 6-3 overall. They are 4-3 in SWAL Conference action. So, yeah, a bit of an overcast sky right now. There is the possibility of showers and thunderstorms tonight. So I think we're going to be in the clear for the next couple of hours, but it'll probably get very cloudy here this afternoon, and it's quite windy. The wind coming out of the south, so it's going to be kind of hard to hit one out of here today. You're going to have to really drive it to get it out of here. The dimensions here at the brand new ballpark at Cuba City, 310 down the left field line, 310 on the right field line, and 370 to dead center. Well, we already got some fans showing up here already for today's game, so that's a good sign, and we'll be getting underway with the game here in a few moments. Let's bring you the starting lineup. Starting lineups are presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line, and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at fullersmilkercenter.com. First, for the visiting Mineral Point Pointers, coached by Brett Lowinger and assisted by Curtis Fiedler. Leading off and playing at short, number 4, Bryce Baumstead. Batting second and playing in center field, number 23, Grady Finley. Batting third is the pitcher, number 15, Brady Radke. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 7, Landon Thousand. Batting fifth will be the right fielder, number 9, Clayton Yana. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 22, Adam Cody. Batting seventh will be the catcher, number 12, Brylan Lee. The third baseman, Jackson Wenhausen. He will be batting eighth. He's wearing number 5. And Gibson Spurley. The first baseman, number 10, he'll be batting ninth for the Mineral Point Pointers. Now here's your starting lineup for the Cuba City Cubans, coached by Steve Graber and assisted by Eric Roseman. Leading off will be the shortstop, number 5, Gavin Vossen. Batting second, the pitcher, Tyson Richard. Batting third, the catcher, Andy Leffelholtz. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, Braden Joel. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 32, Peyton Calvert. He'll be batting in the spot for the second baseman, Elliot Cummins. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 17, Talon Vanetta. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 9, Henry Cruiser. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 31, Ethan Abrath. And batting ninth will be the left fielder, number 13, Cam Guler. So that's your starting lineup in today's game between the Mineral Point Pointers and the Cuba City Cubans. Brought to you by Claire Bank, 8 convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support the community. Claire Bank, where they say, we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Also brought to you by Doolittle's Pub and Eatery in Lancaster. Follow them on Facebook for daily lunch specials. Doolittle's on the Square in Lancaster. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. Tyler, this is my first time at this ballpark. In fact, if you're simply going to the football field or onto the basketball court, this is one of the best kept secrets here. It's brand new facility here.
Yeah, I've covered a lot of Cuba City baseball games over the last few years, but it's the first time I've actually been in Cuba City to call a game, and this is a great field, great environment. The bleachers back behind us, very nicely set up for all the fans here, and it looks like we're going to get things started a few minutes early with the leadoff batter from Mineral Point coming to the plate.
Just like that. Yeah, that's not uncommon. Game starting early. Here's the first pitch. In there for a strike to Bryce Baumstead. Next offering, chopped. First base side, going to roll foul. And it's 0-2 to Bryce Baumstead. Pitching today, Tyson Richard, right-hander, wearing number 1.
I believe he only gave up 2 hits against Fenimore in the first game of the doubleheader on Thursday night that we had on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Next pitch to Baumstead. That's down low. And it's 1-2 to Bryce Baumstead. Grady Finley is waiting on deck for the Pointers. Powder blue uniforms with white lettering and white numerals. Count now of 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bryce Baumstead. Here's the kick of the pitch. This is popped up. First base side, foul territory. Chase for it, and it goes out of play. Count remains at 2-2 to Bryce Baumstead. Wind has died down just a little. That's good for us so that our stuff doesn't blow away. Here's the 2-2. Here is a nice defensive play by the pitcher by Richard, and he flips the first to get Cruiser. Redver gets Bomstead. 1-3 on the putout. One away. First inning. Now here's Grady Finley. He plays in center field. Left-handed hitter. Well, he looked like he was going to be a left-handed hitter, but no, he bats on the right side. Swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Here's another swing and a miss, and quickly the count is 0-2. Next pitch, fouled away. Stays alive at 0-2. Baseball brought to you by Community First Bank. For you and the communities where you live, work, and play. Another foul ball. 0-2, Community First Bank. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. That's Community First Bank. Here's a ball down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Grady Finley. Brady Radke is waiting on deck for the Pointers. The kick and the pitch. Off-speed pitch, and it's fouled away. And we'll see another pitch coming up here. Mineral Point in first place for now in the SWAL, followed by Darlington and Riverdale. Cuba City, 4th place right now. 1-2. Called strike 3, and there's 2 away. Now the batter is Brady Radke. Tall right-handed hitter for the Pointers. We're in the first inning, just underway. First pitch is fouled away by Radke, and he's behind 0-1. If Radke can get on, Landon Thousand will get a chance to swing a bat. The 0-1. Fouled away again. 0-2.
The foul balls are starting to carry back into the parking lot behind us, Shark. Hopefully your car isn't in territory to get smashed.
I was very wary of that, Tyler, and I parked a long ways away. This time, Radke takes a ball down low in the zone, and it's 1-2. Now here's Richard in the pitch. This one is popped up out of play. We'll do it all over again. One thing that, as the skies kind of darken here, I look around and I realize there are no lights here.
Yep.
So they have to get this all in daytime. We sit on right here on the ground here on the first base side, so you can see the pronounced mound, the hump of the mound, right from here. Nicely done. Here's the 1-2. This time he gets fisted, and it gets out of play. And it's still 1-2 to Brady Radke. So once again, the 1-2 pitch to Radke. There's another off-speed pitch, and this is hit towards second. And picking up and throwing it over to first to retire the side is Elliot Cummins. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After a half inning, it's Mineral Point nothing, and Cuba City coming to bat. Our game today being brought to you by Myers Heating and Cooling, servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this. Mound City Bank's total line of credit, allowing you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mound City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at moundcitybank.com. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, experience the difference. Russell Law Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, that's Russell Law Offices. We're going to head now to the bottom of the first inning. Cuba City Cubans, in their half of the inning, they will send up Gavin Vossen, followed by Tyson Richard, and then Andy Leffelholtz. Very nice day today, but yeah, now it's getting a little more and more overcast. And again, showers were in the forecast for tonight. Pitching, Brady Radke, one of the members of the state champion Mineral Point Pointers boys basketball team. Today is the last day of April, so when you bookmark it as that, it was just a little over a month ago that the Pointers won a state championship in boys basketball, their first ever. Here's Radke in the first pitch, fastball, outside, ball one. To Gavin Vossen. Radke is ready. And the next pitch is lined toward right and caught out there. Nice catch. Speared out there on the fly by Clayton Yana. And there's one away. Now the batter is Tyson Richard. Bats on the right side. Takes the ball, and it's 1-0. Andy Leffelholtz will follow. Next pitch. Misses upstairs. 2-0 to Tyson Richard. Radke ready. Here's a off-speed pitch over for a strike. And it's 2-1. I notice Radke works very quickly. Next pitch. Got fisted that time, fouled it back. 2-2 to Tyson Richard. Radke is set, and the pitch. A swing and a miss for strike three, and there's two away. Now here's Andy Leffelholtz, the catcher. He, too, bats on the right side. Tried to shoot for the corner there, but miss. 1-0 to Andy Leffelholtz. If he gets on, Braden Joel will bat for the Cubans. Next pitch is hit down the right side, and this is going to get out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andy Leffelholtz. Softball action being brought to you by Bytech Resource Management, a greener way. Bytech Resource Management of Monroe. And Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont, Prairie du Chien, and at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. Here's the pitch, and it's hitting the air toward center field, and coming on and making a great sliding catch is the center fielder for the Pointers, Grady Finley. Put a star next to that one. For Cuba City in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left at the end of one. It is Mineral Point nothing and Cuba City nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page and on YouTube. The Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
There we go.
Our action today is being brought to you by Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montford, and at sloans.com. Bouse Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialists, in Lancaster. We go to the top of the second inning. No score.
We should mention, Shark, that Queen Bee Radio Sports Chief Meteorologist Steve Pressigard let us know that there is rain in the area. We do have some rain to the north of Cuba City, and it's starting to gradually move in, as we can see on the radar here. So we'll keep tabs on that. Hopefully it doesn't get our way in here, but if we do see that the rain's going to be coming in where our streaming equipment is, we might have to shut things down at least for a moment to get things squared away and make sure that we don't, get electrocuted and all that fun stuff. So.
Well, that would be bad.
Yeah,
that would be very bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm more concerned about the equipment than I am me, but
You've heard the joke, haven't you, Tyler?
Many jokes, yes.
What is brown and crisp and hangs from ceilings?
Haven't heard that one.
A Polish electrician. Heard that one a long time ago, way back in the 70s. We are now going to head to the top of the second inning. And for the Mineral Point Pointers, it'll be Landon Thousand, Clayton Yana, and Adam Cody. And here's the first pitch to Thousand. And he takes a strike at the letters. 0-1 to Thousand. Next offering. That's a ball outside. 1-1 to Landon Thousand. Richard winds in the pitch. That one just a bit inside. 2-1 to Landon Thousand. Boy, what a month of March he had. The 2-1. Takes a strike at the belt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-handed hitter, Landon Thousand. He takes strike 3, and there's 1 away. Second strikeout of the ball game for Richard. And now here's Clayton Yada. He made a nice catch in right field last inning. Big right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. And he swung and missed at the first offering. That was kind of upstairs. And he came up empty. And it's 0-1 to Yana. Adam Cody is waiting on deck. Next pitch. That is fouled out of play off to our right. 0-2 to Yana. Now the next pitch, that is swung on, that is hit out toward right and moving in and making the catch. The right fielder, Abrath with the catch. And there's 2 away. Now here's Adam Cody, the second baseman. First pitch, strike, and it's 0-1 to Adam Cody. And now another strike called. 0-2. Just like Radke, Richard works quickly. Next pitch, just got a piece of it. Do it all over again at 0-2. In fact, it didn't take them very long to get another baseball. You got to like that. Now time called. Might have a little gust of wind there, getting in people's eyes. The pitch is down low. 1-2 to Cody. One of the things that kind of always drove me crazy, at least at the major league level, was looking for a foul ball. Next pitch is in the dirt. 2-2. Not really looking for a foul ball, but it's late in the game. There's runners on base. A guy fouls the ball off way down the line. And they stop the game for 2 minutes sometimes to go get another ball. The pitch, a swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Cody strikes out. And that's the third strikeout for Richard. In the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Middle of the second, it's Mineral Point nothing and Cuba City nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Baseball being brought to you by the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup. It's our high school sports show that covers everything in our area, high school sports scene, including highlights, recaps, previews, interviews, and more. When in season, we'll bring it to you, the Queen Bee Radio, Sports, YouTube, and SoundCloud channels. At the end of our game today, we'll have the Culver's Cool Down Post Game, brought to you by Culver's in Dubuque, Galena, and Platteville, and the Tricor Turning Point. Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. We're going to go to the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Braden Joel, Peyton Calvert, and Talon Van Netta on the face. Radke for Mineral Point. Here is Braden Joel, first baseman. Bats on the right side. Radke in the first pitch. Breaking ball just missed outside. 1-0 to Braden Joel. Next pitch. Strike called. It's 1-1. Here's the pitch on the way. And that's hit down the right field line. That is twisting and turning, foul and out of play. Tonight on Queen Bee Radio, Major League Baseball action. Next pitch skips in to Joel. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Braden Joel. Here's Radke, and the pitch just missed outside, and now it's full at 3-2. Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. Here's the pitch, a chopper, back to the mound. Radke up with it, and on the first to retire, Joel. Now here's Peyton Calvert. Yeah, Brewers and Rays on deck show, 6:05, game time 6:40. On ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL. Brewers lost last night, 1-0. Controversial 9th inning last night. First pitch popped up and out of play behind us, and it's 0-1 to Calvert. A play in which it was a drop third strike with a runner on third base and Sal Frelick. Next pitch up high. 1-1. It would appear that Frelick easily could have scored, but the umpire ruled that Bauer's bat on the backswing hit the helmet of the catcher, and it's a dead ball, or at least you would think it's a dead ball. 2-1 the count, and the pitch hitting the air to right. And over to track it down is Abrath, and there's 2 away. Now the batter will be Talon Vanetta, the third baseman. So, yeah, you would think then that the run could score there, but the umpire then ruled dead ball. Batter is out. Runner from third has to go back to third. Cannot score. And despite the fact that the Brewers put 2 more runners on, they could not score from third and tie the game. So a very frustrating loss. First pitch was upstairs, and the next pitch is called a strike. 1-1 to Talon Vanetta. So hopefully no controversial endings tonight and a win for the Crew. There's a strike called. 1-2 to Vanetta.
Yeah, wasn't it just on Sunday that the Aaron Judge deflection,
Yep.
runner interference, that led to a huge inning for the Yanks?
And there's strike 3 called on Talon Vanetta. And that ends the inning. Second strikeout of the ball game for Radke. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And at the end of 2, no score between Mineral Point and Cuba City. Baseball today is being brought to you in part by Ivy Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy Construction, a family-owned and operated ready-mix, aggregate, and excavation company serving southwest Wisconsin. That's Ivy Construction of Mineral Point. Gorgon Funeral Service, caring for families from all walks of life since 1916. Leaders in their profession, dedicated to excellence in service and the highest integrity. Gorgon Funeral Services in Dodgeville and in Mineral Point. And also our game this evening, early evening, if you will, being brought to you by Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank. And by Myers Heating and Cooling, Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction. Also, Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, well, they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Now here's Tyson Richard on for the third inning. Leading off is Brylan Lee, the catcher, and he takes a strike. Next pitch, fouled away. It's 0-2 to Brylan Lee. Richard, next offering, a swing and a miss for strike 3. And that's 4 strikeouts now for Richard. Now here's Jackson Windhausen. Still have a breeze, but not as pronounced as it was about 10 minutes ago. First pitch, a swing and a miss. 0-1. Next pitch, a bit inside. 1-1 to Windhausen. Richard the kick of the pitch. That one in the dirt. 2-1 to Windhausen. Gibson Spurley, the number 9 hitter, is waiting on deck for the Mineral Point Pointers. We're still looking to get their first base runner. There's a ball just missed low. 3 balls and a strike to Windhausen. There's the pitch, strike at the letters. Windhausen thought that was inside. It was going to take off for second, or rather for first base. Instead, the count is full, 3-2. Now the batter steps out. And now he is ready. And here's the pitch on the way. That is hit on the ground to short. Nice clean glove by the shortstop. Boston, he throws on the first to get Windhausen. 2 away. Now here's Gibson Spurley.
Well, it looks like they overruled it and said that he was safe at first.
And we will get a courtesy runner. And Windhausen has to get his gloves and come back out of the field. So Windhausen, number 5, is back at first base. And the pitch to Spurley is a ball, 1-0. So mark up my score sheet. It'll be pretty bad by the time the game is over with. And I'll have to rule that an infield single. A count of 1-1 to Spurley. Windhausen being held on at first. That's just one of the things that really makes high school baseball a little unpredictable. Next pitch, a strike called. 1 ball and a strike to Spurley. Make it 1-2. 1-2 to Gibson Spurley, the first baseman. And here's a chopper back to the mound. And a look back at second and a throw over to first base in time to get Spurley. Now there's 2 away. Wenhausen advances to second. The Wenhausen represents the only runner of the ballgame so far. Now to the top of the order, and Bryce Vomstad. He tapped back to the mound his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Top of the third inning. There's a breaking ball over for a strike, 0-1. Next pitch, down in the dirt. And it's 1-1. Runner takes his lead at the second. Wenhausen, next pitch, low and away. 1-1 to Bryce Vomstad. Now again, a look at the runner at second. Wenhausen taking his lead, and now the pitch on the way. This was the hit toward the right side, not deep, and racing over. And making the catch is Yada to retire the side. For Mineral Point. In the third, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And in the middle of the third inning, it is Mineral Point, nothing, and Cuba City, nothing. Baseball being brought to you by Doolittle's Pub and Eatery in Lancaster. Follow them on Facebook for daily lunch specials. Doolittle's on the Square in Lancaster. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. Community First Bank, for you and the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. That's cfbank.com. Member FDIC. Other sponsors include People's State Bank for personal, home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of our convenient locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Should also mention, Shark, that this is the Tim Slack Auction and Realty Baseball Game of the Week. And then coming up on Friday, we will have softball action. Fenimore at Boscobel. Big matchup in the Swall on that one. Steve Pressegard and I will be there in Boscobel Friday afternoon right here on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Softball this year, well, there's, I'd say, a lot of favorites. We go to the bottom of the third, and leading off is Henry Cruiser, the center fielder. He'll be followed by Ethan Abrath and Sam Guller, the left fielder. Radke, pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Henry Cruiser. Bats from the left side. He's our first left-handed batter today. Next pitch, a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cruiser. Ethan Abrath is on deck. Now Radke in the pitch. And Cruiser looks at the ball outside. 2-2. Yeah, softball, you know, the usual favorites have got to be Highland and Belmont. Here's a chopper foul, third base side, and it's still 2-2. And Cuba City, of course, Cuba City softball last year had an outstanding year. Well, they actually knocked off Boscobel, and of course, just when I mentioned Boscobel, they've got to be another favorite again this year too. Radke's pitch, curveball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cruiser.
I'm not sure what the updated rankings are, but I believe last week 4 of the top 10 teams in Division 5 were in Southwest Wisconsin.
Here's the ball fouled back by Cruiser. It stays 3-2.
Of course, Mineral Point softball, not a bad team either.
No, not at all. Next pitch called strike 3. And there's 1 away in the third. 3 strikeouts now for Radke. Now here's Ethan Abrath, the right fielder. You're talking about Mineral Point softball. It was really fun to be there when they won a state championship. Here's a ground ball toward third and unable to come up with it. The third baseman, Wenhausen, and Abrath is going to reach. We will call that an E5. Now remember, I am not the official scorer. That is done by the home team. They might have a different interpretation. As I say that, I have to make sure I get looking at the field of play and not down at my notes. The first pitch to Guler. It's high for a ball. One thing you got to learn in baseball and softball, too, at the high school level, never take your eye off the field. Something is bound to happen. Next pitch, a ball outside, 2-0. It's possible for 4 runs to score in a matter of 30 seconds while you're not looking. Next pitch, call a strike. 2 balls and a strike to Cam Guler. Radke looking at the runner, making the runner is held on. And the pitch. Missed the outside corner. 3-1 to Guler. Runner at first, Abrath. He got there on an error by Wenhausen. Pitch and a comebacker to the mound and throw to second for 1. Relay not in time, so they get 1. Abrath is retired 1-6. Guler reaches on a fielder's choice. And there's 2 away. Now here's Gavin Vossen. He's 0 for 1. He lined out his first time up. Breaking ball outside. 1-0 to Vossen. Hard to believe now that it being the last day of April. Runner goes, pitch is fouled off, and we'll do this all over again. A count of 1-1 to Vossen. But yeah, tomorrow's the first day of May, and that is the month when the baseball and softball playoffs start. And I say that's a really exciting time of year.
It's about 2 weeks away from softball postseason beginning. That snuck up on us.
You end up with some of the best matchups. Long pause now here for Radke, and the pitch. Fly ball, hit out toward right. And racing under it, making the catch. Abrath, and that will retire the side. For Cuba City. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. And our score at the end of 3. It's Cuba City nothing, Mineral Point nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Baseball this afternoon from the SWAL Conference, Mineral Point and Cuba City, brought to you by Timmerman's Talents of Platteville. Call Todd Timmerman and find out how you can save, and by going green with solar solutions. Timmerman's Talents of Platteville and Timmerman's Talents, LLC.com. Pizzeria Uno, the Annex and the Back Bar. Southwest Wisconsin's favorite way to celebrate is pizza and drinks at Pizzeria Uno and the Annex in Platteville. The Back 9 Golf Simulator in Platteville. You can play Augusta right here at home. Find the Back 9 on Facebook for details. The Back 9 Golf Simulator, Business Highway 151, Platteville. Donnie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. Call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service at 568. I'll get the rest of that here in just a second. As the batter for Mineral Point, Grady Finley fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Next pitch, he misses outside, and it's now 1-1. Yeah, 5-6-8, 30-14, 5-6-8, 30-14. Your home for excellent car care is Dottie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. A ball outside to Grady Finley, and it's 2-1. Finley 0 for 1. He was called out on strikes his first time up. Now Richard and the pitch. This is hit out toward right, giving chase and making the catch is Abreth. One away. Now here's Brady Radke. I must say, this new ballpark, tons and tons and tons of room and foul territory here. First pitch, Radke swings and misses, and it's 0-1. I tell you what, this is a pitcher's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
There is a good 20 to 25 feet behind home plate to the backstop, and it's consistent all the way around. There's a all dirt infield with all dirt foul territory. 1-2 now to Radke. That's high.
Starting to think, Shark, the pole vaulters over to our right probably have the best seat in the house, too, being able to see the action just beyond the dugout over there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad view at all.
1-2 to Radke. One away. Here's a pop-up. Will this stay in play? Racing over is Richard in fair territory. Right along the third base line, makes the catch to retire Radke. So there's 2 away. Just like I say, pitcher's best friend. And now here's Landon 1000. He was called out on strikes his first time up. And he hits a little soft liner in the center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So 1000 is aboard. And that's our our second hit of the ball game. Now Clayton Yana. Yana flied out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And he foul tips the first pitch, 0-1 to Yana. 1000 at first, has excellent speed. Takes a sizable lead, and the pitch is swung on, hit down to second. They throw to second for 1, and that's all they'll get because that's all they'll need. As Landon 1000 is retired on a force by Yana. Four 6 on the putout on 1000. And for Mineral Point, no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. Middle of the 4th inning. It's Mineral Point nothing, Cuba City nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. High school baseball action on Queen Bee Radio and the Queen Bee Radio YouTube channel, being brought to you by Wolf Construction, the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. And also brought to you by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Also on deck for tonight, NBA playoff action, do or die for the Milwaukee Bucks. They take on the Indiana Pacers at home tonight. Game time is at 8:30. The Pacers lead the series 3-1. The Bucks down to their last gasp without Damian Lillard, without Giannis Antetokounmpo. They have not played well in this playoff series. They have been totally dominated by the Pacers, and it will be the second straight year in which the Bucks, underachievers once again, will be eliminated by a team with a lower seed. We start the 4th inning. Cuba City with Tyson Richard batting. And he has accounted 0-2. Steps out for just a second. Richard struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Here he takes the ball outside. 1-2 to Tyson Richard. He'll be followed by Andy Levelholz and then Braden Joel. Fast-moving game. We're in the fourth. Few base runners and no runs have scored. Here's the breaking ball over for strike 3. And Richard strikes out for the second time. Fourth strikeout of the ball game for Brady Radke. Now here's Andy Levelholz, and he pops up the first pitch out of play, and it's 0-1. Next pitch is fouled out of play. 0-2 to Andy Levelholz. Braden Joel will be next. Our next broadcast will be softball, Fenimore at Boscobel. Here's the ball down low. 1-2 to Levelholz. And I got to believe, Tyler, you'll get a chance to see Greta Grassel do her thing. Pitch, a liner right into the glove of the third baseman, Wenhausen. And there's 2 away. Here's Braden Joel. He bounced back to the mound his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch. Curveball, a beauty in there for a strike. 0-1. Base is empty. 2 away. Fourth inning. Radke in the pitch. Right down the middle, and it's 0-2. Radke ready, in the pitch is taken for a ball just below the letters by Joel. Good eye. 1-2 to Joel. Radke ready, and he shoots for the corner and missed. 2-2. As a hitter, what you're trying to do is get yourself the pitcher, work yourself into some favorable counts, and here Joel wraps it right up the middle for a base hit. And that, for Cuba City, is their first hit of the ball, their second hit of the ball game. And that'll bring up Peyton Calvert, the DH. Batting in the place of Elliot Cummings, the second baseman. And the first pitch just missed below the letters. 1-0 to Peyton Calvert. Next pitch from Radke. That's a swing and a miss. 1-1. Now Radke at the belt and the pitch. Swinging it by Calvert. Now he's behind 1-2. Now this is where you get to be the defensive hitter. Try to spoil some pitches and then get yourself into a positive count. The pitch. Chopped it right back to the mound. And Radke on the first to retire the side. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. We are on to the 5th inning. Our score is Cuba City 0 and Mineral Point 0 on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Sponsoring today's game on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, Ivy Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy Construction is a family-owned and operated ready-mix, aggregate, and excavation company serving southwest Wisconsin. Ivy Construction, Mineral Point. Also brought to you by Gorgon Funeral Services, caring for families from all walks of life since 1916. Leaders in their profession, dedicated to excellence and service in the highest integrity. Gorgon Funeral Services, Dodgeville, and Mineral Point. And we're just past the halfway point of our game. So if baseball had a halftime, we'd be having it. But it doesn't. but it is just before the top of the fifth inning. Our game is being brought to you by the Peterson Agency in Argyle, where your West Bend Mutual and Hastings Mutual Insurance agent, Brian Peterson, specializes in farm, home, auto, and umbrella policies. And here's a solid hit to left field for the Pointers for Adam Cody. And he's aboard with a leadoff single to left. So with nobody out, here's Brylan Lee, the catcher. Let's see if they try to advance the runner here. Squares the bunt, bunts it toward the mound. It is picked up by the pitcher, Richard, and he flips over to first base to get the out on Lee. 1-3 on the sacrifice. One away. And now here's Jackson Wenhausen with Cody at second. Cody 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He fouls back the first pitch, 0-1. Cody leaves the runner at second. So, yeah, if you suspect you might have just a one-run ball game, why not move that runner over to second and get him into scoring position? Next pitch is low. Nice block by Leppelholtz. And a count of 1-1 to Jackson Wenhausen. He reached on a single back in the third inning. Next pitch popped up high in the air, and this will get out of play behind us. 1-2 to Jackson Wenhausen. Now it's as if there's no breeze whatsoever. Although you look out to the flag in the center field, and it's still waving and blowing, but not as wildly as it was earlier. Count of 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Jackson Wenhausen. Runner takes his lead at second. The pitch, a fastball. Number on the third base side. This is going to be a tough play. Throw over to first. Not in time. Charging was Vanetta. Made a good throw over to first base, but not in time, and that puts runners at first and third. Cody, the runner, at third. Wenhausen at first, and now here's Gibson Spurley. Now, watch out for a running play here. Working from the stretch. And the pitch on the way, a strike called, 0-1. Taking their leads, Cody at third, Wenhausen at first. The next pitch, upstairs, runner goes from second. There is no throw, so a stolen base for Wenhausen. So there's the running play that we were anticipating. So runners at second and third, 1 out. And here's the pitch, fouled off by Spurley. And it's 1-2. Cody at third, Wenhausen at second. We have 1 out, and this is where Richard could really use a strikeout. 1-2 the count to Spurley, the number 9 hitter. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses for strike 3. Fifth strikeout of the ball game for Richard. So now the infield can play at its regular depth. We go to the top of the order, and here's Bryce Bomstad. Bomstad 0 for 2 today. He has bounced out and flied out. First pitch above the letters. 1-0 to Bryce Bomstad. 2 runners in scoring position for the Pointers. We're in the 5th inning. No score. The 0-1. That's high. A correction, it's going to be 2-0 now. And Leppoltz is going to step out behind the plate and have a word with Richard. Count of 2-0 to Bryce Bomstad. So you want to be careful here. Might even be discussing maybe trying to get the count even, maybe spiking a couple here and get Vomstad to swing at them. A lot of room. You can score from third base. Heck, you could probably score from second base easily on a wild pitch. Here's the pitch. That's high, 3-0. Yeah, you could have a ball hit all the way back to the backstop and then roll off to one of the sides, and you could score from second. Here's the 3-0. That is a strike called. 3 balls and a strike to Bryce Vomstad. Waiting on deck is Grady Finley. Runners take their leads at second and third. 3-1. That's in the dirt. Ball 4 and a nice stop by Leffelholtz. That is our first walk of the ball game. So the bases are loaded. 1 out. Here is Grady Finley. Finley has yet to reach base today. He's been called out on strike, and he's lined out to right. And the pitch hit towards short. They'll probably concede a run here. And a throw to second in time to get Finley and retire the side. So it turns out to be no run score. Good defense on the part of the Cubans. 6-4 on the putout. For Mineral Point in the 5th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left. And at the end, or rather in the middle of the 5th inning, our score is Mineral Point 0, Cuba City 0 on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. High school baseball brought to you by Doolittle's Pub and Eatery in Lancaster. Follow them on Facebook for daily lunch specials. Doolittle's on the Square in Lancaster. Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at fullersmilkercenter.com. Colors of the game. We didn't get a chance to make mention of that here in our pregame because we couldn't see all the players in the field, but colors of the game brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Keeler Family Dental, and now open Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Mineral Point powder blue uniforms with white numerals and lettering. Cuba City gray pants, black tops with gold numerals and lettering. Leading off in the 5th inning here for the Cuba City Cubans is Talon Van Netta, and he has the count of 0-1. Now, 0-2 as he swings and misses. Here to lead off the 5th, Henry Cruiser follows, and he'll be followed by Ethan Abreth. And a swing and a miss by Van Netta. He strikes out. Fourth strikeout of the ball game for Radke. Now here's Henry Cruiser. Bats from the left side. Takes a strike. 0-1. Cruiser was called out on strike in his only plate appearance back in the 3rd inning. Radke deals. Missed inside. 0-2. Check that. 1-1. Radke with the pitch, and it's fouled off to the left. 1-2 to Cruiser. Well, next pitch. Here is a liner out toward center field. This is going to reach the gap, and it'll be extra bases for Cruiser. And he trots into second with a stand-up double. Our first extra base hit today. A 1-out double by Henry Cruiser to center. And Ethan Abreth will be the batter. Well, the thought that I just had, the fact that these two teams met back on April 8th, and the final score was Mineral Point 1, Cuba City 0. Imagine that.
Certainly feeling that way to this point.
Could be another low-scoring game. Here's a strike called to Abrath. And it's 0-1. Ethan Abrath reached on an error his first time up. Next pitch. He reaches out and swings and misses. And the count 0-2 to Abrath. Runner at second is Cruiser. The pitch. That is hit up the middle and to the shortstop and throws over to first in time. Shortstop Bomstead gets the out on Abrath. Moving to third is Cruiser. 6-3 of the put out on Abrath, but now there's 2 outs. And here's Cam Guler, the number 9 hitter. Takes outside 1-0. Guler reached on a fielder's choice back in the third. Radke's pitch hit in the air towards center field. And racing over for Mineral Point, the center fielder for the Pointers, Grady Finley, and he has it to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And at the end of 5, it is Mineral Point nothing, Cuba City nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our baseball action this afternoon from Swall Conference being brought to you by Timmerman's Talents of Platteville. Timmerman's Talents. Call Todd Timmerman. Find out how you can save and by going green with solar solutions. Timmerman's Talents of Platteville and Timmerman's Talents LLC.com. Pizzeria Uno, the Annex and the Back Bar. Southwest Wisconsin's favorite place to celebrate for pizza and drinks. Pizzeria Uno and the Annex in Platteville. And the Back 9 Golf Simulator in Platteville. You can play Augusta right here at home. The Back 9 on check out the Back 9 on Facebook for details. On to the 6th inning for the Mineral Point Pointers. Leading it off is Brady Radke, who is 0 for 2 today. Pops it up. First base side, that's going to get out of play. And it's 0-1. Radke grounded out to second his first time up, and he fouled out. He grounded out to second his first time up, and then he popped out foul back in the 4th inning. Count of 0-1. 1-1 rather. The pitch. This is lined out toward right, and that's going to be caught. Nice job out there in right field as Finley raced over to cut it off, and there's 1 away. Here's Landon Thousand. A strikeout. He was called out on strikes, and he got a base hit. That was back in the 4th inning. And a count of 0-1 to Landon Thousand. Here's the pitch. Reaches out, hits it foul, right side. 0-2 to Landon Thousand. And here's the kick on the pitch by Richard. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Second time today that Thousand has struck out. 6 strikeouts now for Richard. Here's Clayton Yana.
Scoreboard update for you, Shark. In the bottom of the second, Pecatonica 1, Barneveld 0. Good matchup. Pecatonica went inning away from winning state last year.
Here's a base hit by Yana. So with 2 away, Yana keeps the inning alive. A single to center. And now the batter will be Adam Cody. Cody 1 for 2. Struck out in the second. Reach base. With a base hit to left in the 5th. First pitch from Richard is low, ball one. Richard takes a look at the runner at first and the pitch. Bouncer hit the short. Vossen up with it. Flips to second to Cummins to retire the side. For Mineral Point, in the sixth, no runs, one hit, no errors, one left. Middle of the sixth, it's Cuba City nothing and Mineral Point nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Hey, Dottie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. Call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service at 568-3014. That's 568-3014. Your home for excellent car care is Dottie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. You know, Tyler, I've had the pleasure now of the Mineral Point State Tournament basketball games last month. Of course, I was watching it on television at the time. I was also... I've also heard the call from you and now I can't.
Matthew Ginninan.
Matthew, yes, Matthew Ginninan caught that. Plus a couple of buddies of mine, Mike Tronson and Tim Haldeman. They sent me their broadcast on the Wisconsin network of that, and I'll tell you what, listening to them, even they were stunned at how that championship game against Kenosha St. Joe's, how that ended. Unreal.
Well, just both the semifinal and the championship games, two of the most surreal endings that I have ever seen live in any sporting event, and yeah, it was 61-54 heading into the respective situations in each of those games, and boy, did Mineral Point battle to come away with some hard-fought wins to bring home the gold trophy.
We go now to the bottom of the sixth inning. Gavin Vossen leading off and takes the ball inside, 1-0. Vossen, 0 for 2. He lined out and flied out, both times to right field. Radke in the pitch. Swung on. There's a solid single to left for Vossen. So the leadoff man aboard. Look for some small ball here with Tyson Richard coming up. Cuba City, what's got to be on their mind is score and then get 3 outs. Here's Richard. And he swings away and fouls it back. 0-1. Richard has struck out twice today. I saw Dan Burrison just 2 weeks ago. And I brought it up to him saying that I thought that the one of the key plays, now he squares the bunt and pulls it back, runner goes, and into second with a stolen base is Gavin Vossen. So no more need to bunt unless you want to try to move him to third. That pitch was called a ball to Richard, so it's 1-1. And why not move him to third? And try to make that first baseman commit. A swing and a miss by Richard, and it's 1-2. Yeah, I thought one of the key plays in that comeback then was the Alex Ross with the steal because of the way he tipped the ball away from the Kenosha St. Joe player. He tipped it right straight back. Next pitch upstairs. 2-2. He tipped it straight back so that the player from St. Joe's couldn't turn around fast enough to try to recover. And Alex caught the ball in one gliding motion, put the ball in the basket. Now here's a fly ball, hit towards center, and the play is made by Abreth. Tagging and moving up to third is Vossen. So Vossen now at third. There is 1 out. The batter is Andy Leffelholtz. Let's see what trick might be up the sleeve of the Cubans here. First pitch, swung on, popped up, foul territory. Is there room? You got defenders chasing after the ball and making the catch before going out of play, or did he? 1,000 made a sliding catch. And he got it. He got it in play. The home plate umpire, Charlie Chamberlain, got in line to see it, and it's 2 outs. And the run could not score.
And Coach Graber trying to make the appeal to the home plate umpire.
The question was, did 1,000 end up out of play? But I think he caught the ball in play. Made a great sliding catch. And that's confirmed now. And Braden Joel now will be the batter. And Gavin Vossen has to remain at third. Could not advance. Now the pitch from Radke is over for a strike. That was huge because if he caught it out of play, then it's simply a foul ball.
Right.
And the play and everything's dead. But it's now 2 outs. Next pitch in the dirt. Nice backhanded stop. A nice backhanded stop by the Pointers. By Lee. Next pitch, a strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Braden Joel. The 1-2, off-speed pitch, hit right back to Radke. And he throws on the first to retire the side. Well, that was a key play, that foul, because it prevented Mineral Point, rather prevented the Cubans from being able to score, and they may have also might had another opportunity at bat by Lefelholtz, because possibly they could have had a suicide squeeze, a possibility out of that, or just simply a bunt attempt to try to make the pitcher Radke try to field the ball, but 1,000 came up with a great play to make that catch in foul ground and in play.
And to this point, we talk about tri-court turning points. I think there's 2 turning points that didn't happen. You had Mineral Point with bases loaded, I believe, in the 6th as well, with an opportunity to bring base runners in that didn't happen. And then what we just saw here in the bottom of the 6th, where, again, that foul ball was still considered in play by the umpires that kept the base runner at third and led to a ground out to close out the inning, and we're still scoreless through 6 innings. So any run that you can get, any way that you can get it, try to bring it in and end the game.
We head down to the top of the 7th inning. No score between Mineral Point and Cuba City. It's the bottom third of the order with Brylan Lee, Jackson Wenhausen, and Gibson Spurley for the Mineral Point Pointers. On the face, Richard. First pitch, a swing and a miss by Lee. And it's 0-1. Lee has struck out and sacrificed, so officially he's 0 for 1. Next pitch, ground ball, hit to second, and up with it as Cummins, and he throws out Lee. 1 away. Now Jackson Wenhausen. He is 1 for 2 today. First pitch, popped up. This will get out of play. 0-1 to Wenhauser. Gibson Spurley is on deck. We are in the top of the 7th inning. No score. Next pitch, missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wenhausen. Wind has died down considerably. And right now, no real threat of rain either, so that's all good. The pitch, that's hit in the air toward right. And Abreth is there, and he makes the catch to retire Wenhausen. Now 2 outs. Here's Gibson Spurley. 0 for 2 for the afternoon. He's grounded out and struck out. First pitch outside. 1-0 to Gibson Spurley. if he can get on, Bombstad will get a chance to bat. Here's a swing and a miss. 1-1 to Spurley. Another swing and a miss, and the count now 1-2. Cuba City will have the heart of their order coming up next inning. Next pitch is outside. 2-2. They'll have Calvert, Veneta, and Cruiser coming up. The 2-2. Breaking ball swung on a miss for strike 3. 7 strikeouts. Is it 7? Yes, 7 strikeouts for Richard. And for the Pointers in the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Middle of the 7th, it's Mineral Point, nothing. Cuba City, nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports is presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction. Mineral Point with just 3 hits in the ball game. Cuba City, they just had 2.
And I suspect, Shark, that we got to start paying attention to what the pitch count is going to be for both pitchers too, because I believe both teams played yesterday as well. So if you have to go to your third pitcher,
always a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So now here's Calvert facing Radke. And the first pitch is popped up first base side. This will stay in play. And under it is the first baseman, Spurley, and he's got it to retire. Calvert, the DH. 1 away. Now here's Talon Vanetta. He has struck out twice today. First pitch of the ball low. Radke's next offering. He misses high, and it is 2-0. Cuba City needs a 7th inning rally, or we'll have to go to extra innings. There's a strike at the letters to Vanetta. 2 balls, 1 strike. Henry Cruiser waits on deck. And here's a pop-up. This will get out of play right behind us. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, the Cubans would love to get a runner on base with Cruiser coming up. Cruiser, his last time up, he hit a double. The pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate. Stayed alive at 2-2. Here's the pitch from Radke. Hit on the ground to third. Nice stop by Wenhausen. And on the first to retire Vanetta. 5-3 on the putout. And now here's Henry Cruiser. Kind of have a sneaking suspicion that these two teams could meet again in the postseason. We're talking about when the baseball playoffs get underway, May 23rd. These two teams will be in the same sectional. There's Cruiser. Doubled his last time up, but did not score. And the first pitch is fouled back. It is in Division 3 that these two teams could meet in the Prairie du Chien sectional. Next pitch. There's a ball outside. 1-1. You got Aquinas, Boscobel, Cuba City, Darlington, Dodgeville, Fenimore, Lancaster, Melrose, Maduro, Mineral Point. The pitch of the ball outside. 2-1. Yeah, Mineral Point, Prairie du Chien, Viroqua, Westby, and Westfield, all in that sectional. Here's the ball outside to Cruiser. And it is now 3-1. Will Cruiser be taking here? The pitch from Radke. He takes a strike, and now the count full At 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, no score between Point and Cuba. The pitch, foul back, and we'll do it all over again. If there are 7th inning heroics awaiting, they will have to come with 2 outs and a full count here. Radke in the pitch is taken upstairs for ball 4. That is the first walk given up by Radke today. And now, Ethan Abreth will be the batter. He has reached on an error and grounded out to short. Now the pitch. Runner goes, and the pitch was fouled back, and Cruiser had a good jump. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cruiser try to get a stolen base here, get himself in scoring position any which way. Here's the 0-1. Runner goes. The pitch outside. The throw down to second is not in time. Stolen base for Cruiser. The pitch was a ball, so it's 1-1 to Abreth. Cruiser now at second with a stolen base. So here's the pitch to Abreth. That's outside. 2-1. Can Abreth come up with a clutch base hit here? One and two. The pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 3. Fifth strikeout of the ball game for Radke. And for Cuba City in the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. And at the end of 7, it's Cuba City nothing, Mineral Point nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Baseball brought to you by Claire Bank with 8 convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, well, they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Also brought to you by Myers Heating and Cooling, servicing southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this. Mound City Bank's total line of credit, allowing you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mound City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at moundcitybank.com. Grant Regional Health Center's Ortho Team. Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference. And Russell Law Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving southern Wisconsin, that's Russell Law Offices. So, free baseball. Who all paid to get in here today? Let's see a show of hands. Oh, you over there? Now, why did you pay to get in?
In this economy?
We go to the top of the 8th inning. And the Pointers will be setting up the top of their order. Bryce Momstad, Grady Finley, and Brady Radke on to take on Tyson Richard. In fact, this will not be Tyson Richard. We are going to have a new pitcher for Cuba City. This is Gavin Vossen. Gavin Vossen takes over. So, obviously, he had reached his pitch count. And that would tell me then that Richard, it's a straight switch. And Richard is at short. That would make sense. That would be logic. First pitch to Gavin Momstad is a strike at the letters, and it's 0-1. Logic. You don't see that much anymore. common sense. Nope, that went out the window a long time ago. But this one does make sense. Here's a swing and a fly ball hit out towards center field. It's the right fielder, Abreth. He's over there to make the catch to retire Bomstad. End of 3. Barneveld and Pecatonica. They're into a good one right now, tied at 1 on our shoebox scoreboard update. Now here's Grady Finley. Right-handed hitter. Swings at the first pitch and lines it over toward right. And it's a foul ball. And count of 0-1 to Grady Finley. 0 for 3 today. He is struck out. He was called out on strikes in the first. Lined out to right in the fourth. And grounded out back in the fifth. Next pitch, fouled back out of play by Finley. He's now behind 0-2. Brady Radke is on deck for the Pointers in a 0-0 game in the 8th. Vossen gets his sign. And the pitch. Hit on the ground, up the middle, base hit. Finley, a seeing eye single to center. He's on, and now Brady Radke. I don't expect Radke to bunt here. You got one out. You got a good hitter up there. You got a power guy up there, too. Might be an opportunity, though, for Finley to steal a base. But I don't believe you'd sacrifice here with one out already. The pitch. Called a strike, and it's 0-1. Got good speed on the bases with Finley. Even if you were to successfully sacrifice him to second, you'd be sacrificing him to second, and you'd have 2 outs. You'd hate to give up an out. Pitch is hit on the ground to short. This could be 2. Step on second for 1. The relay is not in time. Radke, too, pretty good speed, but Finley is retired. Or is he? He's still on second.
Yeah, I'm confused about that.
Finley is on second, and then you have Radke at first. And what is the ruling here? He didn't step on second?
Yeah, I thought he had the force out, but the umpire right at second base said otherwise, and now there's 2 runners on for Mineral Point.
And even more importantly, there's still only 1 out. And a runner in scoring position in Finley, and now here's Landon Thousand. And now Steve Graber is going to take a walk out to the mound and talk to his infield. I'm a little confused. That looked plain as day as a force at second, unless, of course, you had a new shortstop in there, or at least somebody playing shortstop for the first time today in Richard. But Richard at short. And evidently did not step on the bag.
Yeah, and Coach Graber is not happy about that call, and I'm sure someone's going to be taking a screenshot of our YouTube stream and petitioning that as an instant replay opportunity.
Oh boy, do people do that? First pitch is a strike, called the 0-1. Really, do people do that? Tyler, take screenshots of our YouTube.
Well, I will say that there was a call on our game Thursday night in Fenimore where someone from the Fenimore bench had our stream up to try and contest a controversial call. They didn't take it to the umpire, obviously, but...
Thousand takes low, 1-1. Thousand today has struck out twice and singled. Runners at first and second, only 1 out for Mineral Point. And the pitch inside almost hit him. 2-1 to Landon Thousand. Yeah, that's a guy you'd like to have up there at this stage of the game. Runners at first and second, only one out. Runners take their leads. The pitch. Hit on the ground towards second. There's a force at second for sure. Relay, not in time. Now the ball gets away, and here's the runner coming from third, and he is safe. Grady Finley, upon seeing that ball get away over at first base on the relay, made a dash for home, and he makes it 1-0 Mineral Point. So, Finley scores. Radke is out on a force. 6 unassisted. Richards' throw to first was low and skipped away from Joel.
Yeah, but Coach Graber checking on Braden Joel. Looks like he took some contact, or he took the baseball off the side of the face when it bounced to him, but he's going to stay in the game.
And Thousand is aboard on what will rule as a fielder's choice. And now here's Yana, Clayton Yana, who is 1 for 3 today. First pitch is low, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Strike called at the belt. And it's 1-1 to Clayton Yano. 1-0 Mineral Point as Grady Finley scores. Next pitch is a strike called. 1-2. I got to believe that's an unearned run, scoring on an error on the throw to first base by Richard. So that would go down as an E6. Next pitch in the dirt. Runner from first goes to second. And a count of 2-2. Thousand now is at second on a wild pitch. And Yano with a count of 2-2. The pitch is upstairs. 3-2. There are 2 outs. Boston had flied out, and then Radke was erased on an unassisted put out by Richard. That pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 3 by Yada. And that'll end the inning. But for Mineral Point, they get a run on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and there was 1 left. Middle of the 8th, it's Mineral Point 1, Cuba City nothing on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And the Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page. Listen back to recordings of previous sportscasts anytime and on demand at soundcloud.com/Queen Bee Radio Sports. And at the end of today's game, we will bring you the Culver's Cool Down post-game show. That is being presented by Culver's in Dubuque, Galena, and Platteville. The Tri-Core Turning Point, brought to you by Tri-Core Insurance. Insurance plan built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tri-Core Insurance today. We'll have a new pitcher for Mineral Point, as obviously Brady Radke had reached his pitch limit. And this will be Bryce Vomstad. And then with Vomstad coming aboard on the mound, is this a straight substitution? Does Radke move to short? Looks like number 12 is at short. Yeah, Brylan Lee then would be moving from catcher to short. And then would that mean, let's see here, Well, the catcher gear is on and obscures the. Can you make that out?
But it looks like it's number 12.
If it is 12, well, then that's Lee. 12. I thought, okay, 22 is at shortstop, so that's Cody. He was at second. And so does that mean Radke goes to second? We will sort that all out.
Yep, number 2's at second.
And it's Cam Guler leading it off for Cuba City to begin the 8th inning. And he now has a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Guler, followed by the number 1, the leadoff hitter, Gavin Vossen, and then Tyson Richard for Cuba City. They need 1 to tie, 2 to win. Pitch outside. 2-1 to Cam Guler. Again, this is Bryce Bomstad pitching. Bomstad with the pitch low, 3-1. And you got to believe that Bomstad is their designated number 3 pitcher. The pitch. Bomstad with a strike called. And it's 3-2. We've seen instances when you've got your number 3 and sometimes your number 4 pitcher coming in a pressure situation and doing well. Here's a comebacker right back to Bomstad. He throws on to first to retire Guler, and there's 2 away. Last year, remember, Pecatonica went to state thanks to a win in the sectional with their number 4 pitcher to close it out. And he got it done. Now we go to the top of the order for the Cubans, and here's Gavin Vossen, who is 1 for 3. He is lined out and flied out. And he takes the ball, and it's 1-0. The next pitch from Bomstad is a strike called. 1-1. Long time ago, I can remember doing a Lancaster sectional baseball game. I think it was clear up in, it was in northwest Wisconsin. Here's the pitch. Popped up high in the air towards center field. Who wants it? Coming in and making the catch is Finley. And there's 2 away. Now it's up to Tyson Richard. But, I can't remember now who that was up in the northwest part of the state, up by Eau Claire. But Lancaster was leading in that sectional game. There's the first pitch. And it's hit in the air towards center. And it's the left fielder, Thousand, who races over and makes the catch to close it out. For the Cuba City Cubans in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And your final in 8 innings. Just like the final back on April 8th. Mineral Point 1, Cuba City nothing. Yep, exact same scores in both meetings this year, Tyler.
Yeah, and what an outstanding baseball game. Very defensive battle, outstanding pitching battle between both teams. And, both teams going the distance. And like we mentioned earlier, wouldn't surprise me if these 2 teams run into each other again in the postseason. Great win here by Mineral Point and really in firm control in first place in the SWAL down the home stretch of the season.
We'll tally up our line score. But I think, Tyler, what would be appropriate is talking about the Tricor Turning Point, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. Well, we had a situation where Mineral Point had the bases loaded, but could not score. We had the other instance, that was back in the 6th inning, when Cuba City was batting, and they had a runner at third base, and Gavin Vossen. And again, they could not score. A great play by Landon Thousand, diving in foul territory, but in play along the line, making a great diving catch to prevent Cuba City from tagging up and scoring, or at least having another at bat in that at bat. if he was indeed out of play. But that robbed the at-bat in that instance from Andy Leffelholtz, and Cuba City unable to score. But finally, in the 8th inning, I got to believe then that's your turning point, where Grady Finley was able to score. He was on second base, and there was a play in which Landon Thousand, let's see here, he got on the fielder's choice. Finley was at second when there was the attempt to make a double play. The relay throw was low, got away, and Finley was able to score from third base on that play and score the only run of the game.
Yeah, that score obviously in the top of the 8th would be, my Tricor turning point, but we mentioned the turning points of the game that didn't happen. You mentioned earlier the, controversial call down the left field line where the question of whether or not Landon Thousand was out of play when he caught that foul ball for that key out that prevented that runner from third for Cuba City being able to advance home and take a 1-run lead. And then in the 8th inning, when the throw from second to first to try and turn that double play, Braden Joel took that baseball to the side of his head. It rolled away, and that gave the opportunity for Mineral Point to get that go-ahead run in the top of the 8th. There was also that controversial call before that where the runner at second we thought was called out, but then the official came in, intervened, and said that the runner was safe. And, from our vantage point, I think you and I were in agreement. We thought the base runner was out. We thought it was a force out on the tag at second and then the throw to first, but the umpire said otherwise. That kept the runner in scoring position, and that was the ultimately game-winning run for Mineral Point. 2 evenly matched teams. Both teams played exceptionally well. A couple controversial calls, I think, that ultimately played into how this game was decided.
Here's your line score. Mineral Point, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. They leave 7. Cuba City, no runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and they left 4.
Wow.
And your winning pitcher today for the Mineral Point Pointers would be Bryce Baumstad.
Yep.
And the losing pitcher would be Gavin Bosson. And the time of the game, well, we actually started just a little bit early. Started what, at about 4:26?
Yep, 4:26. Yep.
4:26. An hour and a half, an hour and 34, and 1 hour and 40 minutes. The time of your game.
Not bad for an extra inning game.
Indeed. So there's your final. With the win now, Mineral Point, they improve on the season to 7-1 overall. Rather, 7-1 in conference, 9-4 overall. Cuba City drops to 4-4 in conference, and they are now 6-4 overall. Next broadcast coming up on Friday, I do believe. Fenimore and Boscobel softball. Your chance, folks, to see one of the best. Greta Gressel, a Mississippi State recruit, and she'll be pitching, no doubt, for the Boscobel Bulldogs. What else have we got here in our Culver's Cool Down post-game show? We brought you the Tricor Turning Point. That's brought to you by Tricor Insurance plan built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. Thanks to all of our sponsors for our broadcast today. Produced by Tyler Dictanis. Thank you, Tyler, for helping out on the broadcast today. We'll see you again soon.
Yep, absolutely. Always fun working with you, Shark. Looking forward to the next one.
Our Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube broadcast being brought to you by Grant Regional Health Center at People's State Bank. High school sports presented by Myers Heating and Cooling, Myers Home Comfort Store, and Wolf Construction. Thank you for listening. Your final in 8 innings. The Mineral Point Pointers 1, the Cuba City Cubans 0. Thanks for listening. The preceding has been a Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel presentation. from Queen Bee Radio Sports. So long, everyone.